Welcome back, guys, to a brand new ranking list. Today we're talking about all 19 Pixar films. Yes, Pixar is at 19 films, and with the release of Coco this weekend, I want to talk about and give my ranking for this because I love Pixar so much. There really isn't a Pixar movie I don't enjoy. There just might be some that don't live up to the magic of some of the other Pixar films that we do get. But without further ado, let's do my speed run, my rundown of every single Pixar film ranked worst to best. Let's go. Being at number 19 is going to be Brave. Now, I don't think Brave's a horrible film by any means. I just think it's average. It's just another princess film. And I do enjoy Merida's character. I do enjoy her three brothers. I just never was attached to Brave like I think I would be. And I think the first time I saw it, I was like, man, this is a really good movie. And then just on replayability, I never get into the story. I think it's very overrated. And it really shouldn't have won Best Animated Picture that year. But like I said, Brave is not a bad film. It's entertaining watch. But it's one of those films that doesn't carry the magic that Pixar and Disney has struck before. Coming in at number 18 is Cars 2. Yeah, you guys are probably surprised. Why wasn't this last? So, I don't hate Cars 2. I find it to be enjoyable at times. It just really, again, another trend in this is it doesn't hold up to the Disney magic. This isn't a film that I have to rewatch. The Cars franchise is not my favorite. Cars 2, in my opinion, they focused way too much on Mater, and that was not what we wanted. I love the Lightning McQueen character, and they focused way too much on Mater, making him a spy and all this, and it was just so out of there that it was really just, it felt like this movie was made to make toys. And it was, because the Cars, they make the money from just the toys is insane. Like I said, I don't hate Cars 2. It's just not that good. It's just generic. And it was weird, the weird way that they went. I mean, Cars 3 totally, like, retcon Cars 2. It's insane. I mean, Cars 3 barely even had Mater in it. But like I said, you guys get my complaints about Cars 2. And coming in at number 17 is going to be The Good Dinosaur, which is probably the most beautiful out of all the Pixar films. I mean, most of them are really gorgeous. But the set designs for each of The Good Dinosaurs, it looks like they literally went and filmed outside and then animated dinosaurs in. But like I have to say, Good Dinosaur has some good emotion in here and a pretty generic story though. I do like the character of Arlo and Spot. I think they're very entertaining and I think they have some good laughs to them. But again, I feel like this movie is more for kids and maybe that family-friendly audience where I could watch it, an adult could watch it, grandparents could watch it, and they could all fall in love with The Good Dinosaur. I just find it to be an okay film. Again, it's one of those Pixar films that doesn't carry the magic, which is really just the lower tier of these films that I feel like don't carry that. But still, The Good Dinosaur is an entertaining watch. It has its moments, and it has some funny moments as well, and some very emotional moments as well. A little predictable at times, but I do enjoy The Good Dinosaur, and it surely is one of the most beautiful animated films of all time. Number 16, guys, is going to be Cars 3. Again, this film came out this year, and I went into it with very low expectations. I came out saying, you know, it was pretty damn good. I liked it. They didn't have Mater as much in it. Cruz Ramirez is a very cool character. I like Lightning McQueen's era that he went through it, kind of being this not rookie anymore. It's kind of like where the trilogy should have gone. I really appreciated what the Pixar did with the Cars 3 franchise. I think they got back to the roots, and this is what Cars 2 should have been. They totally retconned Cars 2, and that's what they needed to do. And at number 15 is going to be A Bug's Life. I don't know why. I just never was attached to Bug's Life. I still find it to be a very enjoyable film. I like the characters of it. You got Flick, which is just great. Hopper, played by Christopher Plummer, or Kevin Spacey, and I love just the villain at the Esque and just the world they kind of built the Bug's Life. I love the carnival people. I love Heimlich. I love the characters. The characters are what makes this film work. The story's okay. It's not the best, but it is a very cool little unique film. I mean, Bug's Life never lived up to a film where I have to rewatch it every single week. Coming in at number 14 is going to be the original Cars. I actually have a soft spot for the original Cars. I don't know why. I think the charm and heart that Pixar brought to this world was grand. It's very special. I love the world that they built, all the little Easter eggs they have in there, like the flying bug cars. I think it's just funny. I love Doc Hudson. I love Doc Hudson's character. I think he's one of the main crux of the film and why it works so well. And Owen Wilson as Lightning McQueen was great. They had a great emphasis on Mater, but not too much, where he worked as the best friend to Lightning McQueen to that bunch that you never thought would ever happen. And just Cars is a very fun film, charming, has a good theme to it, and I just really liked what Cars 1 did. And I felt like it should have just stayed on its own, but then they went on, it has a trilogy now. Crazy to think. Coming in at number 13 is actually going to be Finding Dory. I like Finding Dory. It's a fun film. It has a lot of emotion to it, especially on the Dory character. And this is one of those films that I'm like, ah, God, I hope it doesn't turn out to be Cars 2, because we're focusing on this main character who really was a side character in the first one, but it surprisingly worked. The humor worked. The character, the charm, all worked. And Dory as a main character really works for the film. And I loved Hank. Hank is one of the best Pixar created characters, I think, ever in any of their films. The way he moves, the way he looks, he just brought a different emphasis to the movie, and I really liked it. Again, it's kind of a retread of Finding Nemo. We're just trying to find out more stuff on Finding Dory, and we're trying to find where Dory went. But I thought it was a really wise thing to do. Some of the characters from the original film kind of are shoot in a bit. I kind of wanted more of some of the other characters, though. They kind of shoot in other characters. I was like, I kind of wanted other ones. But I do think Finding Dory is a very adventurous movie. It has good tones to it, and I think it is a good continuing of the Finding Nemo story. It isn't as good as Finding Nemo, but Finding Dory still solidifies its place as one of the good Pixar films. Coming in at number 12 is actually going to be Toy Story 2. I am one of the biggest Toy Story fans. If I could, I would put every single Toy Story movie at number 1, because that trilogy is one of the best trilogies of all time, and I think Toy Story 2 is a phenomenal movie. But again, this is one of those films, for some reason the other two Toy Story movies really click with me. This one doesn't. Maybe it's because Jessie, I do like Jessie's character. I think she's a very entertaining character. But other than that, I've never gotten into the other characters. But Toy Story 2, my favorite adventure, is Buzz going to have to find Woody. And I love his little road adventure with Ham, Rex, Slinky, Mr. Potato Head, and then eventually hitting up the Zurg. And Toy Story 2, I just love the Toy Story franchise in general. It's my heart and soul as a child, and Toy Story 2 just lives up there to be a really good Pixar film. I never thought it hit the levels of 1 and 3, but emotional-wise, that Jessie scene can hit you pretty hard. Coming in at number 11 is going to be Monsters University. Not as good as the first Monsters, Inc. It doesn't really have a lot of emotion to it, but I thought it was cool. We're going back. It's more of a comedy-styled film, which is something Pixar, yeah, they put comedy in there, but this is really like a full-fledged comedy, like a college comedy, and I like that. I like seeing Mike and Sully and seeing how they met and seeing where all of our other favorite characters were before Monsters, Inc. I do think, though, and there's always this one thing that I know a lot of people always talk about, is how they should have added more emotion is that the film ends and it's Mike and Sully talking to Boo before her first day of college. That would have just broken my heart and got me so smiley and emotional, and I wish they would have put that into here, but really, again, I like Monsters University. I think it's funny and brings a lot of new humor and introduces new characters as well to a whole world that we already love. Coming at number 10, this was really hard. The top 10 Up, it was so difficult to put where I wanted, but number 10 is going to be Up. Up is literally the first 8 minutes is one of the most emotional things I've ever felt in a film, and it breaks my heart apart, but I still adore the film for what it is. Up is fantastic in a lot of ways. The adventure that they go on is just great. The characters that we meet, Doug and Kevin, I just fall in love with Up more and more each time. I do think, though, it's starting it off so emotional. You never get to that point again throughout the whole film because it starts so strong. I mean, that was the best love story I've seen in any movie. But Up is surely one of the better films in the Pixar films, and really a 10 out of 10 for me. Pretty much every film going up is a 10 out of 10. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Finding Nemo. Yeah, the original Finding Nemo. Again, this is one of those films that I think I overplayed as a kid, so I kind of got sick of it, but I still go back and watch Finding Nemo. A lot of emotion there. A lot of the Tank Gang is some of the best. Willem Dafoe. I love Gil. I love Gil. He's one of my favorite characters in the whole film. I just love what they did with Finding Nemo and Suntail, and I just love that. The humor interweaved in here is great. Dory doesn't get annoying. Dory's a very sidewind character that you could think could get annoying, but he doesn't. The adventure that they go on can get a little scary at times, but it brings in the emotion and the levity and the suspense, and really Finding Nemo delves into the ocean, which is one of the coolest aspects of our world, and I just love what Finding Nemo brought to the screen. It's one of the best Pixar films. I mean, I just said it's one of the best, but now we're hitting number 8, which is Monsters, Inc. The original Monsters, Inc., which at first, I always used to push this kind of back. I was like, oh, I'm never a Monsters, Inc. person, but I have to say, I rewatched it a couple days ago, and I love Monsters, Inc. Boo, Mike, Sully, everyone. The monsters, the creations, how each monster has their different personality and different look and the way they walk. I just love it all. And come on, who doesn't think George Sanderson is an awesome character? I mean, 2319, 2319! Really, I absolutely adore Monsters, Inc. I think, again, another Pixar film that brings emotion, brings a new world, and I want to see more into this world. I love Monsters University too, and I like Monsters, Inc., and I want to see more in this world and see where they go. Again, Monsters, Inc. is one of the best Pixar films. Me at number 7 is Inside Out. I have to say, Inside Out has some of the most ball-tearing eye moments ever. I'll just say Bing Bong. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Bing Bong, again, one of my favorite characters ever in another Pixar film. He's one of my favorites. The emotion, the love he brings, and I can really relate to this movie a lot because a lot of it carries with imaginary friends and kind of growing up past that. And I used to have imaginary friends when I was younger as well, and I remember, like, I still think back and I'm like, did they just disappear or what? And just this film brings that emotion heavily. But the world of Inside Out is beautiful. I would be shocked if Pixar did not jump on and make another sequel for this, because I want to see where Riley goes next, where her emotions take her next, what emotions might come in. Anger is probably my favorite emotion throughout all this, but I love fear, disgust, happy, joy, sadness, all of it was great, and Inside Out just warms my heart up. I love seeing this world. Again, this is one of the most beautiful Pixar films to date. Just the world that they brought into this person's mind, and Inside Out was actually the first review I ever did on this channel, and I have some soft spots for Inside Out. I love the film. And coming at number 6 is going to be the original Toy Story. I love Toy Story. Again, I still have my original Buzz and Woody from when I'm younger. I'm the diehard Toy Story fan. I got Van stuff for Toy Story. My backpack is Buzz Lightyear. I am such a big Toy Story fan. And Toy Story, I remember being introduced to this movie when I was like 3 years old. It was one of my first memories ever, and I just fell in love with the film. I still always love watching the film. It brings some of the best comedy. I mean, this was the first Pixar film. It still holds up very well with the animation. Sid is a dick bully who destroys toys, but he gets his thing at the end. I love the toys that he makes and the creations. They're very unique. And I just, overall, I love Toy Story and just the trilogy. Again, this is one of the best trilogies of all time. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Coco. Yes, the brand new Pixar film. And I didn't know where to put this. Originally last night, before I went to bed after I filmed my review, I kind of put it lower down. But then I sat today. I went to work and I walked around and I was like, man, I love Coco. Every customer I talked to, if I could bring it up, I told them, make sure to go see Coco this weekend, because Coco is so amazing. The main protagonist of Miguel, I just love him. He's one of my favorite Pixar characters now, and so is Hector, a skeleton in here who's trying to guide Miguel through the realm of the dead. And I love Hector and the emotion he brought to the role and how you get to know more about him. And I just love that he wasn't just a one-dimensional character. And that goes for all Miguel's family. Even though we don't get a lot of all Miguel's family, we still get different personalities from them. Just a couple lines from them, just the way they walk, the way they talk, you get from there. And then the attention to detail in the background. Now, I've been saying that this is the most beautiful Pixar film. This is the most beautiful Pixar film. I have to say Coco is probably the most beautiful Pixar film. I really mean it. Like, the detail in the background is incredible. The dead looks is just magnificent. The way that all the skeletons move, you can totally tell there's so much animation to each of those skeletons. And I love what they did with that. And of course, this is also a musical. And usually I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, but Coco, the music just swept me off my feet and made me fall in love with the film even more. The music added to this film with such a high level, added with characters, added with a good story. Now, I know there might be some people saying, well, the movie can be a little predictable. I don't care what you say. I love the film so much, and I cannot wait to go see Coco again. Coming at number 4 is going to be WALL-E. I love WALL-E. This is a film that I think a lot of people can find boring, but I never have. I always believe in WALL-E and Eva's relationship. I love the tension, the love they have for their WALL-E is an adorable character. I want another WALL-E because I want to see WALL-E again. I just love what they did with the character. I love the world that they built, outer space. It's so cool. All the different robots, all the fat people in their little chairs. And, you know, we can believe that. Maybe our society will hit that one day. But I think WALL-E is such a magnificent film. Brings such great emotion to two robots falling in love, and who knew we'd ever fall for that. And number 3 is Ratatouille. Directed by Brad Bird. I love Ratatouille so much. Remy is such a unique character. He's a rat who can make lots of good food, better than ever I could. I can only make ramen and grilled cheese and toast, but Remy can make like anything I want, and some of the food in here makes you just so hungry. But I just love his friendships and relationships that he makes with the other rats, with the chefs, and just where they go with the Ratatouille story. It's such a unique, funny story, but works. And I remember when this film was coming out, I didn't know what to think of it, and I saw it and I loved every aspect of this film. I think this is one of the funniest Pixar films as well. I don't think it carries super great emotion, but I think the characters and the world that they built up in here was just fantastic. And it's a weird oddball movie to say is this good, but I love it. Me at number 2, guys, is going to be The Incredibles. I love The Incredibles. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. The 2 and 1 are in my top 10 of all time. I love The Incredibles, and I cannot wait for the sequel, but Incredibles brings such a sense of emotion, family bonding, love, character development, great action, great suspense. everything you could want in a film. This is a perfect film. Brad Bird again directed this film to such a fantastic style. I think the animation was ahead of the time at this filming. I think all the characters have their own personality and work. Bob Parr's Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl's great, Syndrome's also great. The voice cast is phenomenal across the board. Dash, Violet, Jack. Everyone has their part to play in this film, and I love the world that Brad Bird directed. I cannot wait. I can seriously not wait for the sequel, because it has been years, a decade since we've gotten the original, and I still think this film holds up. I remember when I used to work in this restaurant, I used to have to pick a movie in this kids' room, and I would always pick The Incredibles because it's the one film that I could watch every single day for the rest of my life and be completely fine with, because the emotion, the humor all still works throughout this film, and the suspense is still there even though you know what's going to happen. Guys, we're here. We're coming to my number one. My number one is actually going to be Toy Story 3. I cried in this film. Again, like I said, I'm a diehard Toy Story fan. I have my Buzz and Woody from when I was younger. Every single scene in this film just wrapped up the story perfectly. And I'm actually one of the ones that is actually excited for Toy Story 4. Maybe a new trilogy, maybe not. But I'm excited for a new one because I believe that if Pixar really finished this trilogy, but if they had such a good idea, go and revisit it. Toy Story is one of those worlds that you can just keep building on and building on. But Toy Story 3, this first main trilogy, the third one ended it off with such a bang, and I loved it. It's easily one of the best humored Pixar films. It's easily one of the best films in general, and carries some of the most emotional moments in any Pixar film. And Toy Story 3, I don't know what else I can say about it. It literally is stunning to look at. The characters are top-notch, of course. Lotso, I love the character of Lotso and all the new toys we get introduced to. And Toy Story 3, in the end, is if you're heading to college and you grew up with Toy Story, which I was at the time, it made me look back and it hit me pretty hard in one spot, and I love Toy Story 3 to death. It is my favorite Pixar film of all time, and it still solidifies it to that date. Guys, that's my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on the Pixar movies? Comment down below and tell me your guys' ranking, because that's what's important. We're going to be talking about what our rankings are for all the Pixar films, but I want to hear it down below, guys, so make sure to comment down below and tell me what your guys' ranking list is. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, especially if you're new, especially if you like this video, because I love talking with you guys. This is the community that we love talking movies. I love you guys so much. And guys, make sure as well to go check out Sandwich John Films down below. I'm a part of this team. I love the website. They do giveaways, advanced screenings, and tons of other things, so make sure to go check us out down below. And guys, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. The holidays are coming up, so I'm going to start getting a little busier at work, but I will still be bringing you guys videos. I'm going to try and get 3 to 4 out a week. Don't hold me to that, but I'm praying that I can get to it, guys. Lots of stuff coming up. New update video coming out in a couple days, so make sure to look out for that, guys. But as always, stay classy and have a great rest of your day.